So, good morning. It's good to be here. It's good to participate in today. And as folks are grabbing something for the vision board, if they didn't bring anything, we have this opportunity to set intention. Intention for who this community is becoming, which we're always becoming. Does everybody know that we're always becoming? We never arrive. Did you know that the journey is home? The journey is home, and that's the truth of it. So we get to do that, but the reason we're part of spiritual community is to have that journey together that's both individual and collective. So grab something for the vision board. I'm going to have Candace come up, and she is going to get us started with an invocation and our affirmation.
Good morning, community. So good to see you all here. If I could have the lighter for the candle. Thank you. So we begin our service by reading an affirmation that Reverend Bobby has written for our community each month. And I know that Spirit has spoken this through her. And so I will light the candle first, and if it blows out, that's okay. But we hold this as a symbol of the light that God is as our lives. Today, I accept the divine promises that is this life. I accept these promises with the openness of a child and the joy of the one who receives this good in gratitude and in recognition of the all-sustaining beauty. I accept divine guidance as it runs me and the entirety of all my affairs. I accept the beauty and the peace of this presence. I accept joy and abundance. I accept health and wholeness. I accept love. I accept a good beyond my recognition, beyond my greatest dream. Today, I accept my good as the good that is God, the goodness of Spirit. So please join me in prayer. I recognize this one life, one power, one essence that is Spirit, everywhere present. It is wholeness and peace, beauty and love, the absolute abundance and life propelling impetus and joy. Thank you, Spirit, for this opportunity to be together.
Requested today before her talk, so hopefully I do it some justice. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Oh, but now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it all go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Go. So let's welcome Rev Veronica.
Not supposed to make the speaker cry before she talks. Oh my gosh. Hello and good morning. Namaste. Oh my gosh. So glad to be here. So glad to be here in person, especially in person. I've met many of you virtually, so it's really good to see the human form in action. So I feel, thank you, Kong. Also, that song is one of my favorites. Number one, anything with Ricky Byers Beckwith is amazing, and I love the soulfulness that you put into it, Kong. So thank you. So let's take a minute here, just take a deep breath, just presence ourselves. And as Candace said, I really like the practice of looking up. So let's just all look up right now. Look at this beautiful sanctuary that we have right here with us, and feel the presence of God expressing itself as nature, as trees, as sky, as clouds, as a crisp air touches our skin. You feel it? Ah, yes, it's beautiful. I love that practice. So thank you for reminding us, Candace. And I want to start today with a story of a Zen master who he was a highly acclaimed Zen master. People sought him out. Anyone who was seeking enlightenment would seek out this Zen master. And so one day, this very wealthy commander-in-chief came to the Zen master, and he said, I want you to teach me enlightenment. I want you to teach me enlightenment now. And anybody can relate. I want enlightenment now. And so the Zen master said, oh, okay, let's discuss this enlightenment over a cup of tea. And so the Zen master and the commander sat at the table, and the Zen master started pouring the tea for the commander, and he started filling the tea up, and then the tea started going up to the rim, and then it started flowing over onto the plate, and then it started flowing over onto the commander. And the commander saying, stop, the cup is full, stop. And the Zen master smiles, and he says, the cup of tea is like your mind. It is full. Come to me when your mind is empty. There's nothing I can offer you until your mind is empty. And I really liked that story because I want us to think about, what are we full of? That was a joke. So, what is it that we are full of, really? I would say, first of all, thoughts. A lot of thoughts come through us and are constant. I mean, that's what our mind does. That's what it was made for, is to think. And some of us are really, really super good at it. Very good at it. It's a busy, busy mind. And so that's where the practice of releasing and letting go comes in. Because yes, it's a great song and it has a lot of meaning, but as a practice, that's what we're doing today. And I love the vision board because it's very symbolic. It's very symbolic of letting go to create room for the new. And according to the laws of nature and physics, wherever there is a void, the universe will seek to fill it. Empty spaces do not want to be empty. And you think, So I started thinking about that statement. How does that apply to life? And the first thing that came to my mind was kind of there's a counter space in my kitchen. And I just can't see the counter. It always seems to accumulate stuff, whatever, the mail, things that I need to get to. And then, there's that day. I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to wipe it down and nothing is going to come back to this empty space that I've created. And it never fails. It never fails. I turn my back. I don't know how it happens. But there's mail. There's stuff back in that empty space. It's kind of like a miracle sometimes. If you had an empty room in your house, how long do you think it would stay empty? Isn't that interesting? When you think about it, wherever there's an empty space, we tend to fill it. If you're not sure, maybe take a look at the trunk of your car. That empty space seems to always collect who knows what, right? But I always know, it's in the trunk of my car. It's a storage place. So that's, and when we clean those places or clear those places, it creates a void. Not only does it create a void, it also creates completes a cycle. It completes a cycle of integrity when we clear those spaces, and that allows more energy to flow. However, when we create that void, those voids can randomly get filled, as just explained, right? It randomly can get filled. However, when we're talking about creating the void in our consciousness by letting go of thoughts that no longer serve us. So, for instance, thoughts of unworthiness, thoughts of, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I would have done that. How come I can't do that? Or how can I be better? Or whatever your train of thoughts, and we all have our own, 3, 4, 5, 10 thoughts that just cycle in our brain. When we can start to let go of those through prayer, through practices of letting go, through visioning and vision boards, we create a void in our consciousness that is ready and waiting to be filled. In Michael Beckwith's visioning practice that he teaches that we practice here at Namaste, one of the questions that you ask yourself is, what is it that I need to let go of in order for the expression of my fullest vision? What is it that I need to let go of? Because he knows that creating that void is the first step to transformation, to creating something new. So, this song, that's why he knew that. And that's where the lyrics of this song came from. I release and I let go, because it's a beginning. It's a beginning of transforming our mind, as Ernest Holmes has taught us. So when we let go of worry and fear and we practice letting go, it creates that void. So one of the things that I've worked on my whole entire life is I have dealt with anxiety in my life for many, many, many years of my life. And what I found is, of course, the more I focused on anxiety, the greater it got, right? The more you put your focus on that which you don't want, the greater it gets. Not a good practice when you have anxiety. Not a good practice. But when I would shift my consciousness to change it and put my attention on the breath, or do a yoga practice, or sing a song, that created the void that I needed to shift. It's not that it's not there any longer. It's just your attention is somewhere else. Your attention is placed somewhere else. There's many things in this world that we can place our attention on. Yes. Yes. And so when we place our attention away from that which we do not want, we create that void to fill it with that which we do. And so in the song, I release and I let go, I let the Spirit be my guide. There's no more trouble, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. With my faith. And so I had this thought. I said, what if we instead of filling the void with something that we know, right? I know I could fill the void with joy, peace. I can, like I said, I can change my thoughts. I said, what if we filled the void with faith? The faith of God. Not trying to fill it with something that we already know the outcome, because the faith of God is so much greater than that. The infinite possibilities that we can't even fathom, the miracles that are waiting for us that are beyond what we already know, how something can be an outcome. Like I'm going through a situation right now in my life where I don't know the outcome. I'm like, what is that? I just want the outcome so I could be over it. Okay. And move on. I don't know if any of you operate like that. That's how I operate. I just want to be over it. and I cannot get to the outcome from the vibration and consciousness that created it. I have to go to a higher place. I have to create the void in my consciousness, a space, and let go of what I know to create an answer to something I don't know. And I trust through my faith that the answer will come through the faith of God. The faith of God is trust in the infinite possibilities that lie everywhere around us, that they will come forth into our experience. That's the faith of God, trusting. Ernest Holmes tells us that, and I love this sentence because I hadn't seen this sentence before. Faith is not hope. Faith is substance. And I said, okay, what does that mean? Right? Faith is, that's Ernest for you, right? Faith is substance. So then I looked up substance, and substance is the formless form. Substance is formless form, the potentiality. I loved that. Faith is formless form. So when we do our meditative practice, when we clear our mind, when we let go of the limiting thoughts, when we release anything that is constricting us in any way, limiting us, we replace it with faith in God, faith of God through prayer, especially through spiritual mind treatment. We put that into the void to manifest as our life. We put that into our heart. We put that into our experience, that I'm open to an answer that I don't understand. I don't know how to get there, but I know it's possible. Isn't that beautiful? I don't have to know the how. I just need to know the what. And then I release and I let go. And when I say let go, it means like, let go. It's not like, let me just hold this a little bit. Let me just a little bit. Just, I know that little bit of me. I know I can fix it. I can figure it out. I can do it. No, we're going to let go and let God, because that's what we do. We're human. We're human. We want to know before we take that step. Yes, that's just human nature of wanting to be secure in the objective world. But we're talking about beyond the objective. Our security comes from God. Our security comes from our faith. Our security comes from our trust in the knowing that through our prayer, through our meditation, through our openness, and through our letting go, that we can bring forth, even sometimes without much effort, that which our heart desires. Sometimes we speak what we want, but our heart says something different. Oh, I want that job, but I really want free time. And the universe says, what? Which one is it? Well, from what my experience has been, the heart's desires overrule because that's our continuous vibration. That's our continuous imprint into the law is our heart's desires. So it's important that we stay in alignment with our heart's desires, which is being true to ourself. And that's what we imprint into the law that only says yes. So I invite you, when you can go from fear to faith, I invite you to go from judgment to faith. Release the judgment and go into faith. Release stress and replace it with faith. Release, sometimes we beat up on ourselves, and we can replace that with the faith of God, in trusting that our heart's desires will fulfill as our experience. So, we can come to the banquet table. Can you picture a banquet table like at a wedding, a banquet table full of food, like abundance? We can come to the banquet table of God with a full plate, no room for more. Or we can come to the banquet table of God with an empty plate, that we've cleared the path through our releasing of these limiting thoughts. And it's not, and as we know, it's not a one-time. This is not a one-time thing. It's a continuous practice. It's a because they'll kind of those thoughts will come back up to the surface. Let them go, and come to the faith of God through our prayer practice, through our meditation practice, through nature. Wow, through nature. And that way we can practice the faith of God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide because why? I'm only here for God. Yes, yes. And let us turn within. Let us turn within and go within deep to the depths of our souls, to that secret place of the Most High, to that all-knowing place, that place within us that has never been hurt, that has never seen pain, that place of wholeness, that truth. And as we tap into that source of who we are, who I am, as individuals and collectively as Namaste, as we grow into the next evolution of the expression of ourself, we let go of that which no longer serves us. We let go of fear of the next steps. We let go of any other unknown hidden fears in the crevices of our consciousness are now being released as we continue to let go and create this void to fill with the faith of God. Yes, I know this is so. As we continue to let go, let's let go deeper into the presence. Let go deeper, even deeper to the presence. Feel it filling you up from the inside out. As I know and accept this as truth, I know and accept this now as the experience of each and every one of our lives, that the presence of God is expressing itself as faith, as love, as peace, and as joy, as laughter. We can walk through this evolution with joy and laughter and fun and lightness. Yes, yes. And I release this, we release this together to the Holy Spirit that only says yes. And as we say this, as we close this prayer, I want you to, from the depths of your soul, from your core center, say together, and so it is. Yes, and so it shall be. Amen.